Vultures come to feast on you when windbreakers target you. I know it's true. Guns drawn on me like a photo shoot. Don't move. Niggas pass you by like they don't notice you. No bond. Wish I had some powers like the Voltrons. Know I could have made it about this life if I had more time. Sorry, mama. Gotta take
Shit, what's happening, man?
man up. Told my kids before they count to 10, watch daddy stand up. Crammed up.
Friday. Sitting back chilling, trying to figure out what I'm gonna do. Texas Red in the building, what's happening? Man, I got a story for y'all, man. When I went to trial, cause you know I went to trial with the feds, you know what I'm saying? I took them to trial, and the reason why I took them to trial is because they didn't have no physical evidence. And I really didn't know the Fed game, but we'll get off into that, you know, at a later time. So common sense will tell you if they don't have no physical evidence, don't plead guilty. You know what I'm saying? That was my mind frame. I ain't gonna never plead guilty if they don't have no physical evidence. But that's state law. You know what I'm saying? I explained the federal law at a later time, but at that time they didn't have no physical evidence. So I said I wasn't pleading guilty. So I went to trial. And, you know, dudes got on the stand and testified, you know, word of mouth, whatever they call it, relevant conduct, whatever. The jury found me guilty. Long story short. So once I get to the jail, you know, I'm talking to the lawyer. I'm trying to figure out what are they going to sentence me to, because I didn't have no physical evidence. So I'm trying to figure out what they going to sentence me to. So my lawyer, he telling me, well, we got to wait on the PSI. And that's the federal paperwork where the government recommends what type of sentence they want to give you. So I'm sitting there, I'm thinking, what can they give me? Because I didn't have anything. So I racked my brain trying to wonder, what can they give me? So my lawyer, he tell me, he says it's going to be about 6 weeks, and then you're going to get the paperwork of the government's recommendation. So don't forget they had me in the hole while I was in the county jail, and I'll explain that on another date. You know, I wasn't in population. They had me in the hole. They was mad at me, so they tried to punish me, and I was in the hole. So one day they slide the mail up on the door. I opened the mail up. It was my paperwork, the recommendation from the government. So the government recommended that I get sentenced to 10 kilos of crack based off the testimonies at trial. And they recommended that I get a 4-point enhancement for being the leader and organizer of the conspiracy. And they recommended a sentence of 360 months to life. So that's 30 years to life. So I'm reading the paper, I'm like, what the, 30 years to life for what these people said I did? There wasn't no physical evidence, it's just what these people said I did. So I tell them, I said, bring me the phone. Because they got to roll you the phone when you're in the hole, they got to bring you the phone. So I'm beating on the door, boo, 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 bring me the phone. Because I'm trying to call this lawyer, man, what's up? So they bring me the phone. I call the lawyer. And I tell him about the paperwork. He was like, yeah, I just got the paperwork. I got the same paperwork you got. He was like, man, don't worry about it. I'm gonna write a rebuttal. We're gonna rebut it and just chill, just be cool. So I'm like, all right. But it still was bothering me. I'm like, these people recommending a 30-year sentence for nothing? So long story short, man, when I get to sentencing, the judge, he read the recommendation, he read the lawyer's rebuttal, and he decided that he was going to give me 360 months. So when he said 360 months, I asked my lawyer, I said, how much time did he give me? He said, he just gave you 30 years. I was like, but I kept a straight face. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, man, I couldn't believe it, you know? So when the marshals grabbed me, They took me to the elevator, and I'm on the elevator. So one of the marshals, he asked me, he said, man, he just messed up your day, didn't he? I said, nah, he ain't messed up my day. I'm cool. Which I was, but I was kind of sarcastic because I felt like he was being sarcastic. So I was sarcastic too. I said, nah, shit, I'm cool. So when I get back to the jail, and they throw me in the cell, I'm beating on the door, boom, 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 bring me the phone. So now I'm finna call my baby mama. So they bring me the phone. I call my baby mama. I said, baby, I said, they just gave me 30 years. She was like, what? I said, yeah, they just gave me 30 years. And she was like, nobody knew you was going to get sentenced. Why they didn't let us know you was going to? I said, baby, I don't know. They just gave me 30 years. So she started crying. So to hear her crying, it made me cry. I wasn't really crying over the sentence. It just made me cry because I knew she was hurt, So I cried with her. So once we got off the phone, I called my other girl, my girlfriend. I called her. I tell her the same thing. She cried. I cried with her. So I'm like, oh, man, they messed up. And what's so crazy about it, my baby mama that I was living with and my girlfriend I had, they used to come see me together. Both of them would come down to the jail, and both of them would be up in there visiting me at the same time. I was the only person in the jail that had two women that come see them at the same time. I talked to one for a minute, she'd get up, and the other one sit down. I talked to her, and they were just playing musical chairs. I'm talking back and forth. So when I would get back upstairs, I would hear the guys say, man, that man, he got two girls down there, man. He got two girls down there visiting. You know what I'm saying? But that's just how much love, they had for me. And they had to bond together, you know what I'm saying, because of these times that we was in, because I had both of them handling business. So they had to come down there together in order to keep things intact and to handle business like business supposed to be handled. They had to put the way they felt about each other to the side, and we all had to come together as one to try to, keep things straight and get things together during this trying time, man. So, after a while, it went like that for a while, and then after a while, they end up going their way, My girlfriend went her way first, then my baby mama, she ended up going her way. So, it is what it is. When you catch time like that, you have to expect that things are not going to, stay like they was, before you left. And, I was cool with it. I wasn't really tripping. I just wanted them to, just stay friends with me. I wasn't expecting for them to hold themselves and not do nothing while I was gone. It was too much time. It was too much time to wait and to waste, waiting on me. And I accepted that and I respected that, So it was what it was. But yeah, man, them people gave me 30 years, man, off of what somebody said. So my point is, if you got a federal case, and the best thing for you to do, man, really is to get a court-appointed lawyer and try to get the best deal you can get when you're dealing with the feds, because 9 times out of 10, you're not going to beat them. You're not going to win. They got every part of the board locked down. You know what I'm saying? All the laws are for them. You can't win. So when you're dealing with, I don't care if you don't have no physical evidence or whatever, you can't win. So the best thing to do is don't spend $25,000, $30,000 for these lawyers, because that's what they charge for federal cases. And they're not going to win trial. So the best thing for you to do is go in there and try to get the best deal that you can get and go on down there and do your time. Keep your manhood and come on back home.